Hey guys, it's Wednesday, so that means it's time for me again on Spellbound Heathens. So this week's theme is, how did you discover paganism? I'm going to apologize in advance that I look like smashed ass right now. I went to karaoke last night, and my voice sounds like a Denny's waitress, and I kind of feel like one that's been working the swing shift for like 80 years. But moving on, yes. How I discovered paganism is actually, it's a mixture of a bunch of things. Starting off with, as a young child, I was always interested in magic. I was always interested in fantasy over science fiction. I was obsessed with the idea of magic. I was obsessed with the Greek gods and goddesses and the Egyptian gods and goddesses. So at a young age, I started reading up on all of the Greek gods, all of the Greek myths. Like, to this day, I can actually kind of spout off most of the Greek myths. It was just an obsession of mine, and that interest in pagan religions led me down the path of discovering witchcraft. So I had that kind of in the back of my head as I was growing up, and then various experiences within the Christian realm kind of alienated me. I never, to begin with, felt comfortable with Christianity because I knew at a young age that I was interested in boys and not girls. So, you know, when my Methodist preacher, when I went to confession or whatever it was, I don't even remember these days. He might have been a Catholic priest, I don't know. But, you know, I went to a confessional and I was like, I might be gay, I'm not sure, blah, 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 you know, and the priest is spouting back, oh, you know, that's a sin against God and you should search your soul to make sure that, you know, it's not the devil tempting you. That really kind of was like, fuck you, you know, is what it said to me. So that kind of sent me down the path of discovering, you know, more paths that I could choose. I was always kind of thinking, you know, there's got to be something else. Like, why do I want to be a part of a religion that basically wants me dead? So as I grew up, I delved deeper and deeper into pagan religions and studying different religions across the world and throughout history. And I discovered witchcraft through mutual friends. And on top of discovering witchcraft, before that, similar to what Jasmine had said, I had numerous experiences over the years that just kind of led me to believe that there was a lot more out there than met the naked eye. I have had numerous supernatural experiences. I have had numerous crazy, I don't even know what to label them, experiences. I've even had a life after death experience, which I'll talk about at one point later down the line. But it was kind of a conglomeration of all these things that led me to believe, okay, there's crazy stuff out there that I believed in, and Christianity basically is saying it's bad. You know, so I will admit that my initial rundown towards, you know, seeking out paganism was because of a hatred of Christianity. Over the years, I've come to accept that it's just a difference of views, and I respect people's own religious views. I still have my own personal feelings against Christianity, but I'm not a big hater. So back to me discovering witchcraft. I was probably about 12 or 13 when I started reading up on Wicca. I remember doing a thing on the Salem witch trials that really pissed me off because I felt bad for the witches. So I ended up running across the literature discussing Wicca and what it was. I got myself into the solitary practicing books. So I, you know, created my first altar, I did my first rituals, and I, you know, just kind of started going down that path. And over the years, my path became very twisted, very, very off the beaten path, because yes, Wicca has a very beaten path. Because I got to a point within Wicca where it was like, oh, harm none and do as you will, and I was just like, wait, there needs to be a balance. I talked about that in last week's video. So I ran into another roadblock. It's like, but I like the dark. I want to research the dark. I don't think that it's evil, but, you know, I ran into this block with Wicca where it was like, you know, the dark is bad. So like I said previously, I went down the path of discovering, you know, dark magic, and I hate saying that because it makes it sound like it's black magic, which, you know, has that connotation, but that was how it started. I had this desire to have knowledge. I wanted knowledge of different religions. I wanted knowledge of things that would explain the experiences that I was having that everyone else said I was crazy for saying. You know, I had visions, I had experiences with ghosts, I had all this crazy stuff. And it was kind of like, I need to find a way to explain this, or I'm going to go get locked up in Arkham Asylum with Lovecraft. Like what I did there. Anyway, that's kind of the very, very, very bare-bones story of it. There is a lot that happened to me involving getting wrapped up in a group of easily manipulated people who were led by a person who led us to believe that we were druids, involving celebrities and crazy stuff. That was when I was doing drugs. So I have a lot of stories that I can tell, as you can see, but I don't want to give it all up here. It's like giving it up on the first date. Then there's, you know, no reason to call back. No, I call them back. I'm the one that doesn't get called back. Just to clarify, I'm not a douche. I'm going to leave it at that because, like I said, guys, I'm sorry. I'm really not feeling well today. I am tired. I'm hungover. And I still have homework that I have to do. I have to do my cat's litter box. I'm not looking forward to that. I've only been up for an hour. But I figured how we got introduced, that's kind of the bare bones story of it, is I stuck my finger in the socket of Christianity. I got shocked. I was like, fuck this. Went to a bookstore, had some crazy experiences, and here I am. So, yeah, there's a lot that I can tell as we go down the line, but I just wanted to say again, thanks guys for watching. This is going to be awesome, awesome event, and yes, as you know, our Friday kind of fell by the wayside and did not happen. They didn't end up hosting. I guess they have stuff going on in their life, and so we are in the process of finding a new Friday. So bear with us while there's only 4 of us, but it just kind of means that the 4 of us that are doing it until the 5th person comes just have to be that much more awesome. So yeah, maybe we'll show you our titties. Whee! I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is what happens when Jade doesn't get a lot of sleep. But no, I love last week's videos. It was a blast watching everybody. I can tell that we are a very eclectic group of people and that every one of us is going to have a different story to tell. And that's one of the things that I love about paganism is, like I said before, it is such an all-encompassing word and there are so many different stories and everyone's path is different. Everyone's path is crooked in their own way. Everyone's had their own experiences and I am just so charged getting together with the rest of the guys on this channel and sharing our life and sharing our experiences. So now that I've made an ass of myself, made this video PG-13 by showing you my titties, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette and have a cup of coffee. Peace out.